guys, welcome to an episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Today in the driveway we have our 2003 Honda Element. We're kind of winding down on some of the maintenance items that I need to do just to kind of bring this thing up to speed and pass New York State inspection. At the end of this video series I do have a little special thing for myself to reward all my hard work. Rear stabilizer links, mine are broken. They actually fell completely off on the top and the bottom. How or why, I have no idea. They look original. I am not gonna lie, I am a little disappointed in the product that I choose to replace them. Maybe that will just change over time. So, stabilizer links, very easy to replace. It seems like it, or should be. But looking at the new part, or even the broken one, that's all you're really doing is just this one nut and the other nut. Stick in the hole. See you later, love you, bye. Now, the OEM ones are 14 millimeter. And the replacement ones are not, so they're a little bit bigger. This company is called ProForge. ProForge piqued my interest because on Rock Auto, they actually label them as premium and superior to Moog. Moog used to be numero uno, the creme de la creme, the best thing out there, better than OEM, which is true. Over time, for them to stay competitive, unfortunately they have not changed their prices, but they have changed their quality. So I figure something so simple, something so easy, let me try the ProForged. The Moog have a grease fitting built in, which I kind of like, but then also meant another thing I have to grease. I don't know what you guys are experiencing on your Honda Element. You know, what are you guys getting out of stabilizer links? Okay, on Mandingo is a completely different truck, heavy. I go through stabilizer links probably every 2 years on the front. That's just the way it is. And I actually use a nice premium set, and they're guaranteed for life, so it really doesn't bother me. And they're very easy to change too, no litter. So let me get you down here, let me show you what I'm working with and why I have to replace them, and hopefully they're pretty easy. I have the car on jack stands just for a little bit easier for me to work, on the jack. Just to show you guys a few things so it's a little bit easier for me to work. I have the wheels chocked in the front. Driveway is on a little bit of a little decline. And we're gonna be good to go. Seems like 14 millimeter, and I have mine, my favorite. You guys should own this. I don't care what you work on. Milwaukee Torque Lock vice grips. We're giving away a few sets of these on the channel. These are the best set of vice grips out there. Change my mind if you beg to differ, right? Clamp them down as tight as you can. This couple of turns, super tight, and you are good to go. All right, let's get down and dirty and let's see what we got going on here. Oh, while I get you guys down here, right, bring you guys down at the camera angle. Just a quick tip, I knew I was going to do this, so what I did for a couple of days, because I'm just extreme like that, is I actually squirted the nuts with some sort of rust penetrant, like WD-40, screw loose, whatever. As you guys can see here, this is why they have to be replaced. Now, if yours are broken, what are you gonna do? All right, so let's see how stubborn this bottom piece one is, the one that's not broken. This might be spin, but that's not really the end of the world. If you really wanted to just not bother with any of this, you could literally just cut this out. Uh-oh, that's not gonna work. It's hitting the control arm. All right, plan B. All right, so plan B is because we're gonna try and use our Milwaukee 3/8 stub, even though it's only on 2 bars of battery, is we're gonna switch it up to a shorter socket and an extension. You don't wanna have deep and deep. The more extensions you have, you lose torque. And it's not budging. All right, next step is, let's get a ratchet on there. And we're just gonna have to use manpower to just kind of break this loose. Okay, let's go. Okay, it's spinning, not good. So let's see if it's not spinning. All right, so when it hits this bottom bracket, it's not spinning anymore. I can actually feel it coming loose. So let's see if it actually is coming loose. Now let's switch it back up. It's going to get a little loud. Now sometimes what I like to do, especially on frozen components, yeah, it's spinning. All right. What we can do is we could just cut it smooth, or hopefully we'll get our vice grips on the back of this, and then we can stop spinning. See how it just popped right off? And we're going to be exposing where are you? Come on. See this D10 pole? That's what we're exposing on the bottom. We're going to be exposing all of that. Right? And that's where we're going to be sticking our torque locks on here. This is what's spinning. Wait, no, torque on the bottom. So let's get that underneath. I'm doing this blind. Just going to clamp that on nice and tight. Okay, now that that's on nice and tight, let's see what we got now. It's almost at the end, and it slipped, which is fine. Don't get discouraged. We have movement. And I'll show you what we're clamping onto once we get this out. Wham! We are out. Now, as you guys notice, right? I was racking the impact gun back and forth because you guys can see here, the reason why it's difficult to come out is these threads are all rusty, crusty. So if I'm working the impact bolt in and working it back out, it's more torque coming, because it's starting in where the threads are clean. It's more torque coming out, so I'm working it back and forth. I'm also building up heat. And heat is also nothing. When you heat up metal, it expands. So it's not gripping those threads as tight as it should be. So this is what our stabilizer link looks like, bare bones. And you can see where I'm grabbing onto it with my vice grips here. You can see where it started to strip when it slipped. But in a nutshell, easy peasy 1, 2, 3. So now the painstaking part is what we did here, we must do to the top. Out, pull the back in. Back out. Let's go back in. Let's go back out. And bam, we're out. See that? Nice and easy. Now what I like to do is let's just see how this is supposed to go. Should have looked at that first. Is there a right and a left for these? I don't remember. That's how long it's been. Yeah, I think they're all because these part numbers are different. See, HDX 70, HDX 20. This will loosen up. Obviously we have our chassis suspended. So here. Here. Let's get some anti-seize on now. Let's talk about anti-seize. Alright, so the new replacement nuts, these are knocking nylon. See that blue line? Okay, anti-seize, right? Gift of the gods. We're gonna put some on these threads. Keep the rust off. And also when the next time we have to change these, hopefully we won't, they're not a pain in the you-know-what to take off. These weren't bad. These weren't bad. Go one. Just starting them by hand. Alright, let's get this out of my socket. We will switch to a 17. I mean, listen, the stabilizer links. Don't make them gorilla tight, but don't make them really loose. There's going to be some force when putting these on because they're nylon, so you really can't even spin them by hand. You're going to have to use some force. That's it. Done. You know what I also realized too? But I would probably never do that. These are hollow inside. It looks like you could fit a hex in here and hold this nut as you chase it, but I would assume that'd be stripped out too. Alright, so we got the one side done. Let's go over to the next side. You think it's going to be just as easy? Alright, so here we are. You want to start at the... Oh, look, the bottom popped off. You know what? Let's just learn from the last time, right? Just break this off. There we go. And we're exposing that metal bowl again to grip our vice grips on. I feel if I have them upside down, it increases my strength. So let's take the other one. 14. Let's back it off a little bit. Remember, back it off a little bit. Tighten it. Right, because now those threads are nice and clean. We're building up heat. Alright, one more time. This should be the final push. Boom, we're out. Look at that. Nice and easy. See that? So much easier when you know what you're doing. Oh wow. We're loose. Tighten. Loose again. Boom, we're out. Look at that. Success, success. Let's get our new ones. Right. A big 17 millimeter. Let's undo these. I'm just gonna stick this in. My baby's gonna pass inspection. Okay, there and there. Remember our nectar of the gods, anti-seize. Remember, we're starting this by hand. Let's not strip anything. And you know, when you get tight, because we release, we get to that blue locking mechanism. We know we're in there. So 17, remember, it doesn't have to be gorilla tight. Just got to hold the sway bar in place. That is it. We're gonna get our extension. This is a 3-inch extension if anybody's wondering. So that's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a 3-inch extension, 14 millimeter short and deep, and a 17 millimeter deep. And the drive of your preference, I'm using 3/8, but like how easy it was with this Milwaukee 3/8 stub. Listen, even if you don't use this on a regular basis, this thing makes tire changes, anything, you know, if you're gonna do your own maintenance on your E, 3/8 Milwaukee 12 line stubby 3/8. I run their ratchets, I run everything else on the channel. You guys seen? It's winter all day long. Let me get this back on the ground. Alright guys, let's just talk about a stabilized link since it's out. This is going to be sitting in there, right? What you need to do is literally break this off. And then you expose this rounded ball right here. Focus. 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 There we go. This rounded ball right here. This is where. Focus. I'm going to take focus off. I don't need this. Okay. This rounded ball right here is where you're going to grip on your vice grip, and then from there, it's just easy street. And remember, you got to work this bolt in and out. Like I said, what made this job a heck of a lot easier is that Milwaukee 3/8 impact, which you guys should envision right here. This thing was an absolute lifesaver and a time saver, and it had 2 bars, and it still has 2 bars. Quick rotation tire changes, brake work. I mean, this little gun right here should tackle almost every job on the E. I mean, listen, I use this thing to pull the subframe bolts out. What gets tougher than that? All right? The money you save doing this work yourself, treat yourself. 110%. Overall, fairly easy. I see what you guys are saying about, you know, how the bolt spins. Hopefully you guys got the torque lock vice grips or a good set of vice grips. If not, I mean, listen, I try not to cut these off a little bit close to the gas tank. In the end, it's just sparks, you'll be fine. I was just trying to do it a little bit more professional, if needed to, or how you ever work that out. Another thing what we talked about doing is, you see these threads here? If you wanted to, you get a wire wheel and you clean up these threads before you take it off so it has less force coming in and out. So those are just little things that you could do to try and make it smoother for you. Obviously, I went a little bit more caveman style. I do believe 110% because I sprayed lube on it a couple of times before I worked on it. It was pretty easy. In my opinion, I thought it was pretty easy. I know some of you guys are writing a lot of stuff about them on the forums. About them slipping and all this other nonsense. I really didn't experience that. Once I got a good grip with the vice grips, this bolt came right out. So anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys found this video informal. If you guys have any questions, you know, drop a comment. My question to you guys is, if you guys have already done this before, who did you use? Did you go with Pro Force? Did you go with Moog? Did you go with OEM? How many miles have you had them? Do you like them? I mean, it's only 2 bolts. We could change this thing out once a year if I had to in Cry River, right? Now that we know officially how to do them, nice and easy. All right, guys, if you guys found this video helpful, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Guess what? I'll see you guys on the next episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Later.